Chapter 1. Before the event. How do you prepare well? How can you properly prepare for a network meeting? Why are you going to that network meeting? How do you ensure that you make optimal use of your valuable time during the network meeting? With this chapter you will gain insight into how you can prepare better. You will be more confident. You will spend your time better and you will achieve optimal results more often. Taking the time in advance to go through the meeting in your mind guarantees the best result you can get out of the meeting. This is a proven fact from networking practice. What matters here is visualizing your presence and acting at a network meeting. What happens if you take the time to visualize the meeting beforehand? Why should you always do that before every conversation? What makes someone who visualizes the meeting in advance a more successful networker than the person who doesn't? I will give you all the answers to these questions. Those answers come straight from practice and are based on my personal experiences. Acting successfully at a network meeting starts with visualizing the meeting you are going to in advance. Why is that so important? It has to do with achieving your goals. With visualization you hold the key so that you can confidently enter every meeting. Whether you are going to have a conversation with one person or whether you are going to enter a room with thousands of people. Visualize the meeting in advance and you will automatically arrive at your goals. And that's what matters, achieving your goals. Setting goals is of course important in everything you do and especially at network meetings. Visiting network meetings contains an invisible, intangible and therefore barely noticeable danger. A danger that few people dare to see or discuss. You recognize expressions of that danger fairly quickly, but to resist it is many times more difficult than to subconsciously go along with it. It is the danger of getting stuck in the comfort zone. What is that comfort zone? The comfort zone is difficult to identify as an area. But you can recognize the comfort zone by how you feel. If there is no nervousness at all, if you feel overly confident, if you think you are in control, if you think you don't have to make any effort, if you are happy with the situation, then you are in the comfort zone. And what is so dangerous about that, you might think? The danger is that you stand still in a dynamic environment. It's like getting hypothermic and freezing. If you get snowed in and threaten to freeze, the strange thing is that as a human being you hardly experience this as fearful. This while you are simply dying. You notice the first moments of cold well and are aware of it. Those are the moments that hurt, you're cold and you resist. But there comes a time when you have to make a choice between continuing to feel the pain and resisting or giving up the resistance and submerging peacefully and wonderfully in a soft, deadly sleep. That is comparable to the moment whether you choose to continue to perform or that you unnoticed sink deeper and deeper into satisfaction and come to a halt in your comfort zone. What matters is that you have to continuously step out of your comfort zone during the network meeting in order to achieve the best result. Continuously stepping out of your comfort zone takes a lot of energy, can be very confrontational with yourself, can make dents in your ego and can put you in situations where you wish you were invisible. And yet you have to do it structurally for the best result. If you now think, well, that's not too bad, I do feel comfortable at a network meeting, then that immediately proves the presence of the barely noticeable danger. If you experience this as such, then you are simply not getting the best out of your time investment. Most likely you are talking to some familiar people. Or do you hang around in a group of fellow comforters for the entire meeting and you can make an excellent judgment about the quality of the coffee? But maybe you think, yes, but I know very good networkers who are very comfortable with it. They are really in their comfort zone. Forget that. That is not true. These people are, and this is going to be a difficult statement, comfortable because they can be outside their comfort zone. Why is it so important to step out of the comfort zone? You come to the network meeting to meet new people, to make new contacts, to establish new relationships. You are looking for new opportunities. You are continuously working on existing opportunities to build out. Ultimately, this should lead to business commercial success. Networking is therefore simply a costly investment of energy, time, and therefore money. Therefore, you should prepare the meeting as well as any other investment. That is why you have to set goals, and you can achieve those goals more easily by preparing with visualization. Why do I achieve my goals more easily if I visualize them in advance? This is a logical consequence of how our brain works. Everything that a person makes or performs arises in 2 steps. First you think it up consciously or unconsciously, then you execute it. This happens automatically with many daily things and you may not even notice. But feel free to try it out. Just start on anything. Go do something and check afterwards what came before, the result or the thought of it. Now it is true that the better you form a picture of what you are going to do and what you want to achieve, the more success and results you will achieve. You may have determined your goals in advance when you go to the network meeting. For example, you set yourself the goal of collecting at least 10 business cards. Or some other measurable goal. You will really succeed. But by visualizing the meeting in advance, something magical is created that makes everything you do easier, as it were automatic. If you prepare the meeting in this way, you can fully rely on your subconscious. This happens if you go through the entire meeting in your mind prior to the event. Beforehand, you go through all the information you can find about the location, organization, and participants. Then sit completely relaxed with your eyes closed in a quiet place. In your mind you go through the entire meeting from arrival to departure. You see yourself entering. You see yourself greeting people and you briefly make the first contact with a greeting, smile or eye contact. You quietly walk through the entire space and imagine how you walk among the people there. You are already having a number of conversations with new contacts in your mind. You see yourself walking up to people and introducing yourself. You feel good, confident and relaxed. If you already know specifically who you definitely want to talk to, then you already approach that person in your mind. You see yourself talking to that person in a pleasant way and you see yourself exchanging your card with that person. What happens if you prepare the meeting in this way? What happens when you prepare the meeting in this way is that you can fully rely on your subconscious during the meeting. You will automatically come across as confident because in the perception of your subconscious you have been to the meeting before. You automatically work goal-oriented. You will automatically achieve every rationally set goal as if it costs no energy at all. You will be seen as a pleasant, relaxed conversation partner. You will notice that several people will think that you have been among these people before, even if it is your first time. You will find that people come to you instead of you having to laboriously interfere in conversations with others. This only by visualizing the meeting in advance. What is an additional advantage of visualizing? Visualizing in advance also has another, additional advantage. You do need some experience and self-knowledge to be able to properly estimate that advantage. What is this about? While visualizing, you may come to an unexpected conclusion that the meeting is actually not worth attending at all. In order to draw this conclusion, you have to be very honest with yourself. Because watch out, if you just feel insecure and negative about the meeting, you'll find those negative reasons why not to go, very quickly. You then quickly fool yourself and tell yourself that the meeting is not worth attending. But let's assume you have the strength and will to resist it. If you come to the conclusion while visualizing that your visit to the meeting does not really contribute to your goal, then you can spend the time you gain in a better way. For example, you may want to talk to a number of specific people very specifically. The question then is whether the meeting is the right environment for this. Perhaps it is better to call them specifically and invite them for an appointment. But as mentioned, this is an additional aspect of pre-visualizing that can work in your favor. You will have to gain experience with this yourself to be able to interpret this aspect properly. Summary. Visualize the meeting beforehand. View the space in advance via the internet. Experience the meeting beforehand in thought and see you in conversation with the people you want to speak to. Think about what you can do for those people, more on that in Chapter 7. Know why you are going to the meeting. If you know why you are going, you will act accordingly. You automatically get a confident attitude. And people love that. That makes establishing contact much easier and makes it easier for other people to come to you. What comes next? Chapter 2, Upon entering the event.